Hey guys, Robin Rosado here, Director of Instruction for Top Speed Golf. So I got Clay here, and he's gonna be doing some demonstrating for me today. So we're gonna talk about our hips and what our hips are doing through impact, kind of like the proper way. And the one thing that we're really gonna talk about today is actually something that I hear a bunch out there with through instructors, or like even I've had lessons I give online reviews to say, oh, I was taught to kind of bump my hips. So you got this motion going on your first move down, and that's actually kind of false, right? We really wanna, like we talk about in our Top Speed Golf system, like going onto our compression line, our hips are 45 degrees open. So if we start our downswing kind of with this bump, so you hear that a lot, the bump on the way down, then that kind of like prohibits that, right? So it's hard to get to that motion. Now you're kind of stuck. And then sometimes, like you hear with those guys on tour saying they're stuck. I mean, that could be not necessarily they're bumping their hip this way, but that's also like if you start sliding, that's also another way you can get stuck or do a bunch of other stuff that you don't really want to do, right?
Yeah, I actually practiced that myself. I had an instructor that this is way back when, but he had a drill where I got all my weight on my left. I bumped my hips forward, and specifically with an iron on this one.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to get me hit down and through, but I'm not exactly sure what was going on. But bumped the hip in front, way out here like this, no weight on the right foot. He basically wanted me to be able to pick up my right foot. And I did thousands. I mean, I hit buckets, those big teaching buckets. I must have hit hundreds of those things.
Oh,
and my hip would always hurt. I was like, well, I guess it's right. He's telling me to do it. So my hip would always hurt. And then it really got to where I couldn't rotate through the ball. As I started to bump forward there, that's kind of locked my hip up and I couldn't get on through. And I got like a little bit more armsy, and it just led to problems that I had to try to work on for years to do. So what do we want to do? How do we want to fix this? What's the first thing we want to do with it?
So when you go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and let you do it, but when we take it to the top of our swing, so go ahead and take it to the top of your swing there. And the first move on the way down is I want you to really feel like you're pressing into that ground with your left foot. So you see how his knee and all this pressure is really putting a lot of force down into the ground with the movement. So that's starting our downswing properly with our lower body. We always want to start with the lower body. So a lot of pressure is going down into the ground with our left side into the inside of that left foot. You really want to feel it inside that left foot with that knee, kind of like that squatting motion down.
So if I do this, that's my hip bumping past my ankle, and I want to do more where my ankle stays in front, my hip stays back, and my knee kind of turns out there like that.
Exactly, and that'll give you a good basis to kind of rotate through.
Okay.
So then our second, so you're gonna really do some kind of, like, I don't know, as a drill, we talked about that pump drill, but we kind of feel like we're pushing down here. And then really another checkpoint is what we talk about in our Top Speed Golf systems, that compression line, is trying to really feel like Clay was talking about, the hips kind of coming back, but we really want to feel we're at 45 degrees open. So I'll let you go ahead and try to demonstrate that, about 45 degrees open at impact with those hips.
So once I do a few of these, then I go to impact, and I'm going to have them 45 open, and this is basically going to be a straight line.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of like your checkpoints. So go ahead and take some ghost swings, feeling that through impact, and go ahead and smack them. So why don't you go ahead and hit one there for these guys and see if you can get those hips rotating about 45 degrees open. Oh yeah, that was real pretty. Right down the middle. All right guys, good luck working on that, working on those hips, trying to get away from that bump. And we're gonna be more rotational, feeling that pressure down on the left side going into the ground that way. All right guys, thanks, have fun and play well out there. Hey guys, I hope you really enjoyed that video. Now that we've got talking about the bump out of our hip rotation, and we've got good rotation coming into the ball, but let's say you're still not hitting that solid, but now what's next as far as impact's concerned and how to really hit it solid with good rotation? That's kind of the compression line like we talk about in our Top Speed Golf system. So there's gonna be a preview that plays here in a second, talking about how to use our rotation properly, how to compress the ball really well and hit it nice and solid. Then you click on the iCard and get the full version of that, plus 5 free bonus videos on our website for you. So good luck out there guys, have fun as always, and play well.
Rotating back, creating lag, releasing lag, those are all very, very important, but none of that matters unless we can consistently hit that ball right on the center of the sweet spot and compress this golf ball. And that really comes down, a great deal of this comes down to how our body is positioned at impact, and that's what I call the compression line. And I want to make sure that I'm coming down and through, hitting the ball first every single time. Now my body has to be set up in a proper way to be able to do this. So when you're coming into contact, I need my left ankle, my left hip, and my left shoulder to all be lined up in a straight line. Hanging back and coming up too thin where I'm picking the ball off the ground, maybe flipping or scooping as I'm coming through contact. My body's set up in a way where I can deliver the club down and through the ball every time. With the direction our shoulders are pointing are gonna dictate where we can release the club and how we can release the club. So that's the general overall idea. We need that compression line.
It's allowing her to release the club, and she has one of my favorite swings on the LPGA Tour. Really, really solid fundamentals. And again, Rory McIlroy here, just a great swing, very, very powerful.